TV. So today I'm going to be showing you how to traditionally set up a table. Now this video could be useful to maybe someone out there who is interested in opening their own restaurant one day, more especially for either someone who is pursuing a career as a waiter or waitress, or if you're just a college student needing to learn how to set up a table in a fine dining environment. This video is for you. I hope that you do enjoy. Please continue to show me your love and support, as I do appreciate every bit of it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on notifications, so that you can be the first to know when I send out a new video. Take care, enjoy. Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you how to set up a table for a fine dining restaurant in a traditional way. Now, a lot of the time, fine dining restaurants will differ with regards to their table setting, depending on the type of ambience they want to give the guest. However, this is a traditional standard way of setting up a table, so it takes very basic types of cutlery and crockery, some of which I don't have, but I will be improvising so that you still catch on to what I'm trying to teach you. Now, when we are setting up a table for one guest, that is known as a place setting. So whether we're using 10, 20, 15 different types of items on the table, all of that will have to be set for one person, which is known as a place setting or a cover. So if there are two guests at a table, we are setting up 2 place settings or 2 covers. If there are 10 guests at a table, we are setting up 10 covers or 10 place settings. So let's begin. At the bottom, I do have a nice fancy tablecloth, ensuring always that your tablecloth is clean and crease free. So mine is a bit creasy, but it's okay. This is an undercover or underplate. Did I say the wrong thing? Underplate. An underplate is not an essential, as the guest does not use this to eat, but it picks up the appearance of the table. So that goes at the center. Remember, the guest is going to be sitting just here at the table on the side. That's the guest where he or she will be sitting. So facing him or her will be the underplate. On top of that goes your dinner plate and then a salad plate. Okay? Underplate, dinner plate, salad plate. Then a napkin, which is a linen napkin, not a paper type of napkin, goes on to the top of the salad plate. The napkin can be placed at any part of your table. It depends entirely on your preference. Okay? Then let's talk about cutlery. What type of cutlery am I going to be using? There are different types of cutlery, maybe 10 different types of spoons, 10 different types of forks, knives, and so on. But I'm going to just be showing you the standard. I have a tablespoon, teaspoon, fork, and a knife. Now, which side of the guest do these utensils lay on the table? Now, depending on whether the guest is left-handed or right-handed, that is how we're going to set our table. However, knowing whether the guest is left-handed or right-handed is not a common question that is asked by someone who makes a reservation for the guest, or someone that brings in a guest into the restaurant. It's not a question that we ask, so we assume that each guest is right-handed unless they specify otherwise. Now let's think of ourselves. If we are right-handed, when we're eating a piece of steak, normally we have our fork in our left hand and our knife in our right hand, and that's how we dig into our delicious food. So that's how we set our cutlery. According to which hand it's going to be used is the side that determines where we're going to put our utensils. So on the side of our right hand, we're going to be using the fork to eat, right? So therefore the fork goes onto the right hand, the left hand side, sorry. I'm just getting confused with the positions. Onto the left hand side. Then onto the right hand side are the utensils that we are going to be using our right hand to use, which would be your tablespoon, your knife, and then your teaspoon. Just like that. So we have our fork on the left hand side, and we have our tablespoon, knife, and teaspoon on our right hand side. Left, right. Now let's talk about our knife. Our knife has a blunt side and it has the side that has the blade. Whenever you are putting a knife onto the table, make sure that the blade is facing inwards to your plate, like such. Can you see the blade facing towards your dinner plate? If you are going to face your blade to the other side, it means that the blade is facing the person sitting next to you, and this could be deemed as unprofessional and disrespectful, and we don't want any of that in fine dining restaurants. So therefore we make sure that the blade always faces inwards towards the table. Then on your left hand side, we're going to have our bread plate. Your bread plate goes onto the left hand side with a knife on top of the bread plate in a diagonal position, like such. Then we're going to put our teaspoon, which is going to be used as a dessert spoon, at the top of our dinner plate. Normally we would use a dessert spoon and a dessert fork, which would be placed in opposite directions, but we just got our dessert spoon there for now. What type of glasses are we using? Let's remember that when we are setting up a table for a guest in a fine dining restaurant, we put every type of equipment that we have onto the table to ensure that it caters for any type of meal or beverage that the guest orders. We are not sure what they're going to order, so instead of the waiter finding out what the guest will order first and then going to fetch all of the equipment needed, the waiter or waitress puts everything on the table so the guest has everything at his use. We're going to be putting three types of glasses. We have our white wine glass, our red wine glass, and our water glass or juice glass. All of them go in this direction onto the right hand side of the guest, as the guest will use his right hand to pick up the glass to drink. As you can see, they are set in a diagonal position, like such. If you can see, in a diagonal position like this, so that the guest has a proper reach of any that he wants at any time. The guest may at some point request for a cup of tea or coffee, so we have the cup and saucer that will be put at the end of the water glass, like such. Okay, the coffee pot or teapot does not stay on the table. Only when the guest requests for it, then will the waiter bring it to the table. And we have at the center, for just some finishing touches, we have a centerpiece that goes at the center of the table, and then we have something called a table number. Each table should have a number, and this will assist the waiter or waitress to remember exactly what food goes to which table. So this is a basic setup, as I said, for fine dining restaurants. You can match and choose and chop and change whatever you'd like according to your preference, as this is not something that needs to be followed thoroughly. But if you're interested in the traditional way of setting up a table, this is exactly what you would have. Let's not forget our dessert. Now on our table we do have our dessert teaspoon there. However, we did not put any type of bowl or dish for our dessert. That is because the waiter or waitress will bring the dessert to your table already dished in whichever type of crockery that they are using. And one more thing before I go, I've just used a very simple type of napkin fold for this video and for the demo, but if you are interested, you can check out my YouTube channel for 10 different ways of folding a napkin that can be your own type of individual touch to the tables that you set.